And as far as Beauport is concerned, it's fine and it should continue. I think the other end of your question revolves around two things. One, the infrastructure work that's under design now, and looking at ways that the commercial street can be made wider, more usable. And then I think the third part of it is really in Bernard's hands about the traffic, the traffic flows, and how the number of cars. I mean, there are a lot of vehicles that go in and out of Commercial Street now, and there are trucks that are going up to the businesses beyond you. They go by. I mean, you work it out, it coexists, and it works. And we have no desire for any of that to change.
So, you want to comment on that? So we've got Citadel trucks out there, do we for now offloading, loading, and Sean's list of traffic will continue as it has to.
Right. So I would pretty much sign or echo the comment that John mentioned. If there's a truck parked on the street today, whatever cars do to get past those trucks in and out, you would pretty much have a similar operation in the area where you have the trucks. The way we have designed the site and the site frontage where we're actually widening the street, as John had mentioned, pushing back into the property so that you have a wider road, wider cross section, so that when you do have vehicles parked on that section of road in front of the site, you actually have more room in the future with the improvements that are being designed than what you have there today.
Okay, thank you. Sir?
One?
Yes, you're on.
Thank you.
One question, this is your follow-up question.
No
Just time
question.
to go around again. I just want to make sure everyone gets a shot.
Well,
In your question.
it's more of a statement.
Well, we're doing
Or
questions.
Questions.
You have to make that statement into a
I'm going to make a
question
question.
so the team can address
So the
it.
situation
Okay.
of the beach.
There you go.
Am I right? Can I? As you go through this whole process, and as it's a central of Gloucester's tradition, people, situation, I've been kind of told that you're going to give the green light to the community, the use of that beach at all times, just the way it is now. And in doing so, I'm just kind of
So your question was, are you going to give the green light to the community to
I'm
continue?
giving kind of a get there.
It's a backdoor question.
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. Okay? So, that being said, I brought a little, kind of, everyone knows what happens around Fiesta, but during Fiesta, after Fiesta, and I thank you for this presentation, and everyone should get, we'd like to stay in park operation, but I'm hearing promises that everyone's going to say the same, that beach is going to be the same for the life of this whole process. If you get to do what you want to do, what prevents you from down the road, or that promise, or that deed? I think the city, myself, should have the deed in their hands, and they should own the beach, and you can look at it once in a while.
All right, we have your question.
That's fine. So in
Thank
other
you.
words,
No, it's a good follow-up.
can things change? My question is, can things change where a year down the road, or any point in time down the road, you sell it, and it becomes, who knows, deed?
So the guaranteed access, the deed, and what
Oh.
guarantees the community have?
Well, what guarantees?
Yep.
In other words, my question is, why can't we own the deed to the beach and have ownership to the beach? And then if you want to use it for something different,
Yep.
you have to ask us to look at the deed.
Have the question.
Correct.
So does the city have the deed, or,
Yeah, who's
You
gonna
have
have
it. Good question, thank you.
Thank you.
John?
So the plan is,
it? I don't,
Excuse me.
that's it.
Let's hear it, John.
Your floor, John.
the plan is
I'm the
that the
moderator.
city would get a deed to the beach once the project is established. And once the city has the deed, that is perpetual guarantee that the public can use the beach. And until that time, position of Beauport is the public can use the beach.
Great.
All right, thank you, we have that. Public can continue to use the beach, there'll be guaranteed access, and the city, you, we the
Unclear.
people, will hold that deed, will hold
Okay.
that deed.
Once they get there, once they get
Those
there.
are general states. Excuse me.
Yes, sir, yes.
Thanks, John.
Sir.
John,
Yep.
it seemed very clear to me, maybe you and I are on a different page here. There was was my understanding the charge from the city council for this meeting was input from the neighborhood, not this question format that we seem to all be corralled into. Could you speak to why the input is being, this great input here was being stifled?
Okay,
It's not just questions, my reading of what this meeting was about.
well, okay, Jay, well,
You've
that's...
done a great job of keeping it.
Jay, I'm not going to stifle you, you know that, so we're not stifling anything. And I was not privy to the city council, the P&D, suggesting in very strong terms that a community meeting be held with presentations and discussion based on questions and answers. So, but we haven't heard, Masha, just let me finish with Jay. Okay, so, John, do you want to, I mean, the purpose of this was because P&D requested this public meeting, and not a public hearing or anything like that, not city sanctioned. It's up to these guys to do it. So, but I've tried to be fair, Jay, and not stifling questions, especially yours.
No, you've been very fair, but they keep putting it into questions, whereas it seemed very clear that they wanted input. There's a difference between someone making a presentation about a beach and a question.
So if you were here at the beginning when we were describing the format and asking if there were questions, you would have got it. But I'll go over that briefly, that it was questions and answers, and that statements and positions and all that have been and will continue to be made at City Hall during the public process. There's still a permit to be issued. It's a special permit. It's subject to negotiation because it's an overlay district. And so the opportunity for the public to go on record, in a public record, make all those statements will continue as the permits continue. But this was outside of City Hall, opportunity for people to just ask questions without any city rules or regulations or laws or anything like that being in the way. So, all right, further questions? Yes, sir.
Roger Hussey. Among your several plans, what is the maximum height of the main building of the hotel?
The peak of the roof is 61 feet. It's the building height as defined in the zoning code.
61 feet. Okay, thank you.
61 feet. Thank you. Michael? Oh, I'm sorry. Mike, can you just wait? Marcia had her hand up and then I didn't see this. Yes.
I wanted to go back to the...
That's Marcia.
I want to go back to the issue of the incompatibility issues between the hotel and marine industrial businesses, and the concerns that have come up about there being smells and noises and truck fumes and backing up and all the things that make me wonder how these things are going to coexist in such a bottlenecked area. And so I think when Matt Bell got up, he addressed this clearly as an anticipated problem, that he would have anybody who owned one of the condos that he was proposing would have to sign something, which he said was a common practice, to say that they would never complain about this. They understood they were buying this property with these constraints, and the constraints came before the condos are now the hotel. So I'm wondering why you don't anticipate this as really one of the largest problems of the whole project in terms of the concerns of the businesses that are across the street from the hotel.
All right, thanks, Marcia. Before you answer, I just want to indicate we've got 15 more minutes. We're down at 7:30 as I indicated. John?
So I just want to be clear that the model you're discussing was condominiums and people owning residences. This project isn't condominiums in any way. The hotel overlay district specifically says no condominiums, no co-ops, no timeshares, no extended stays.
What says that?
The hotel overlay district,
Yeah.
which the city council adopted in May,
Yeah.
makes it very clear that neither bport or anyone else who owns that site can ever have condominiums, cooperative, timeshares, or extended stay. So what Mac Bell was addressing was really different from a hotel where people come for a day or two. It's not someone who's going to be there in perpetuity.
Well, I don't know, I've never stayed in a hotel that was next to a pig farm or a fertilizer plant or anything like what exists on the fort. So in the absence of owners signing that, it seems to me like therefore the hotel needs to sign something like that because they are the only ownership body.
Okay, thank you.
So why
So the
wouldn't
question is, will the
why would the
hotel sign the
be
agreement
obligated
that they won't
in
complain
that
about?
different situation to sign that binding contract with the community?
Okay, thanks, Mark.
So I think, I just want to make one comment. That is, there are hotels in big cities, and they're near things that are noisy. There are hotels near airports. This isn't an uncommon problem. And Sherry, you operationally understand this. I think the difficulty is that, and this isn't referring to any existing instance, but if there were a situation where anybody would complain about the noise or the smell, I don't see how one property owner should be singled out and waiving their rights to complain in a situation that truly is egregious.
Okay, thank you. Mike?
Just a follow-up to Mr. Rome's question. Given the fact that the width of the right-of-way between the curbs is 22 feet, approximately the entire distance of Commercial Street, and the fact that a number of buildings on the north side of Commercial Street are built right up or very close to the property line, would the applicant consider putting all of the above